everyone, my name is John Rodriguez and welcome to another Monster Hunter video. Today I wanted to give you guys a top 5 monsters that I love from Monster Hunter World. These are the monsters that were added to just World alone. None of these monsters in other games just were added in World. And I know there's more than 5, but these are the ones that I like the most. These are the ones that appeal to me the most personally. And if you guys have your own personal top 5, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want to do a top 10, that's also good too. Just, you know, leave in the comments. And let's just get started, because I gotta get to work pretty soon. I have to go to my job, and I started this like the last second. So let's go do this already. Number 5, Kulu-Ya-Ku. I know Kulu-Ya-Ku isn't the most popular monster in the Monster franchise, but he's one of my favorites just because how silly he is. He is a goofy monster who just smacks people around with his rock, and he also just he's just a silly monster. I love him because he makes me laugh every time I see this guy. And I've seen him walk by me in the middle of a fight. Like, I'll be fighting Triton or Diablos, and he'll just be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going? Doing good? Yeah, what's up?" And he'll just like fuck off. Or the Raytheon will just turn around and just attack him because she knows he's off to steal her eggs. And it's always hilarious because she focuses on him only, and I find it really funny watching him just interact with other monsters. I also love this one moment I have with the Kulu-Ya-Ku. I really wish I had this recorded, but I was fighting the Diablos one time, and I was actually in trouble. I would have died. I was KO'd, and I was dizzy. I was sitting there all like messed up, and the Diablos was about to run at me, and the Kulu-Ya-Ku walks into the area. Diablos looks at him. Kulu-Ya-Ku just jumps up at him and smacks him with a rock and just KOs him. He just falls over, goes, "Rrr!" and Kulu-Ya-Ku just runs away. And it was just one of the funniest things I've seen in Monster Hunter. It made me laugh so hard. And that's why Kulu-Ya-Ku to me is my favorite monster that they added in Monster Hunter World. Number 4, Tobi-Kadachi. Lightning Snake Squirrel. I love this thing. This thing is just so creative. And it reminds me of the Narakuga. Narakuga is one of my old favorite monsters from the past generations. But this guy kind of just looks like him, and it also has new moves, and it's got electricity, and the way he creates electricity in his body is him rubbing up against, like, friction areas. Like, he'll rub against the trees, and it'll cause static electricity. So it's not necessarily that he has thunder in his body, even though he has a thunder sac, but let's just ignore that for a second, because the lore even says that he has static electricity because of his fur. Let's just ignore the drops for a second, and just look at how cool he is. He causes electricity to go through his fur, and when he goes into his rage mode, his fur stands up, and he looks so cool. And his roar just sounds really cool, too. It's like a snake getting attacked by a squirrel. I don't know, it just sounds like a mixture of two animals. That's what I like about the Tobi-Kadachi. It's just a really cool monster, and it's one of the first monsters that really scared me because of how fast he was. And I don't know, he's one of those really neat monsters. He's also one of those monsters that has a really weird weak spot. His tail's his weak spot. And I've noticed a lot of people just go for his head, which granted, if they're going for his head for a KO, that's fine, but a lot of people don't seem to know that his weak spot is actually his tail. But he's just such a cool monster. I also just like the way it fights and flies around the area. It just jumps around, and it even has like little, like, squirrel wing, like, underarm thing. It's kind of weird the way it fights, and I like it. It's cool. And it flips around, it uses electricity, and fighting this thing, fighting this tempered is hard when you have a Wrathless armor, because you have weakness to electricity. But I personally really love this thing, and it's just so cool to watch it fly around and fight. Number 3, Legiana. Look at this thing. It's graceful, and it looks fucking awesome. It is probably one of the best looking, in my opinion, monsters in Monster Hunter, just because it looks so cool. It's also one of the very rare ice Wyron types I've seen, at least ice flying Wyrons that I've seen in Monster Hunter. I could be wrong about that. If you guys know any other flying ice Wyrons, let me know. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, honestly. But Legiana is just really cool looking, and it also sounds, its roar is also really cool. It sounds like it's something that it should sound like, I guess you could say. It's also one of those monsters that when it goes to sleep, it goes to the very tippity top of a giant mountain. And it takes forever to get there unless you have a gliding mantle to jump up the current with. But I don't know, I just really like fighting this thing. It's always very fun to fight. It's always a blast to, like, just use the little sliding area where you always usually find it and slide down and just jump on top of it. It's also one of those monsters that seems to always hit me with this damn blight, which always keeps me on my toes. Especially if I'm using like a bow, when I have to, if I get hit by its blight, I'm basically screwed because I won't be able to use my arrows because it slowed my stamina down so much. Number 2, Nergigante. I know, Nergigante is number 2, not number 1. A lot of people might not like that because I don't know, Nergigante is like one of those really, it's like a big fan favorite of people. But I love him, don't get me wrong, but he bothers me too because some of his hitboxes still drive me insane. So I couldn't put him in number 1 just because of how angry he makes me sometimes. Also, the other monster I find cooler, but I'll get to that in a second. Nergigante is one of those really cool monsters though that goes after other Elder Dragons and eats them. So it's one of those fucking badass monsters that really will go after other monsters and just destroy them. Hell, I've seen Nergigante come down and destroy the Teostera or the Caladora and just wreck them. He does so much damage to them, and they're terrified of it. Nergigante is just is a fun fight to do as well. Like if you ever have to hunt him, I find him fun, but I also find him kind of irritating because if you make any mistakes, you're gonna get fucked. So you have to be very careful, but he's just so much fun, especially his ability to regenerate. You have to break all of his parts off to keep him from using his giant dive attack with a giant fucking hitbox. So you have to be pretty careful. But I genuinely love him, and I also love his design. Design-wise, he might be one of my favorites. Number 1, Oregoran. I love this monster. 1, it's basically a wolf, especially if you hear its howl when it roars. It's awesome. It is red, my favorite color. It's very rare rage mode. If you see it when its body starts glowing red, it's just so cool. And he has one of the best armors in the game, honestly. Oregoran also is one of those rare monsters that is dumb enough to try to attack an Elder Dragon. If you ever seen the Valhazak fight the Oregoran, it's fucking hilarious. Oregoran does not stand a chance, but he tries. And points for effort, just because he's so fucking badass. Also, watching him take on all the other monsters in Turf Wars is always cool. He utterly destroys pretty much everyone. Especially the Palumu. Poor Palumu. Oh my, poor Palumu. God damn. He gets utterly trashed. But I love him. His introduction is also just menacing as hell, too. When you find him in the game for the first time, it is terrifying. And honestly, he might be my new favorite monster in Monster Hunter. He is close to dethroning Rajang, but not quite there yet. He's hands down my favorite monster that they've added to Monster of the World, and I cannot wait to see what they add later on in the future. Hopefully, they'll add subspecies, and we can see this guy get a subspecies. Hell, I want all these monsters to get subspecies, if I'm being honest. But anyway, that's my video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share this in the comments down below. If you want to subscribe to our channel for more content, that'd be amazing too. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. And please, please follow us on Twitter, because YouTube's notifications do not work. Every time I upload a video, I put it on Twitter to let you guys know, so you guys can get to watching it as soon as possible. So please follow us on there. And if you guys want to help us out a little bit more, we have a Patreon where you guys can donate anything from $1 to $1 billion. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. See you guys next video. Bye.